All right, everybody. Kai Deering. I'm with Kai on the Fly with Kai. Hey, listen, today is Thursday. What is the date today? Wouldn't that be great? It is the 17th of December. And this is season 1, episode 3 of On the Fly with Kai. I'm excited to be here with you today. And we're going to be going live every single Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time starting in 2021. So thank you for joining us for inspiration, for great success tips. And we're excited that you're here to join us here today. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce my very special guest here today. This is a lady who I just have mad respect for. She's a mom of 5. I can't believe that. She is an incredible friend of mine. She's an amazing entrepreneur, a great wife. She's a caregiver for her mother. But I know you haven't always been an entrepreneur, but it seems like I always have this question, Ms. Doyle, and it's really this way. Are you born with it, or did something happen along your journey to put you into a trajectory of entrepreneurialism? Because I know you're doing fabulous with your company. So tell us a little bit about how that happened for you.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. Yeah. So, when we're younger, our parents get us into like scouting, Girl Scouts. We all start entrepreneurship when we're really young, doing something like that, doing fundraisers for school. And I was always in that top fundraiser position growing up. But really, it wasn't until 2013 when we were at a hockey tournament for my oldest daughter, and her hockey coach introduced me to something, and it just kind of caught my eye. And I realized that I didn't have to be working 3 jobs. I didn't have to be struggling to make ends meet. I didn't have to have other people raise my children, and just absolutely fell in love with it.
So again, the question is, did something just like happen, but you just kind of were raised as an entrepreneur? So you started off really young. Like I know I started off babysitting and dog watching and all that stuff. And then I always was gravitating to that. I always had some sort of lemonade stand or always had something going on the side. Is that kind of what you're saying then for you too?
Absolutely. So I love doing yard sales. It's like, hey, let's get rid of stuff. I can make me some money. Let's get rid of stuff I don't use, I don't wear, my kids don't use, my parents don't use. Let's just get rid of it and we can make some extra money. Let's go out to dinner one night.
I love it. Also, I know that you're living an incredible lifestyle. You've got a beautiful home outside of Sacramento, 4,200 square feet. I mean, it's just amazing. You just put a saltwater pool into your backyard. You're going on these dream vacations. And people always look at like kind of the finished product and they go, oh my gosh, you're living this incredible life. And then they're like, yeah, you must have had a silver spoon in your mouth. This must have always been the way that it was for you. And I know you, so I know that's not true. What was it like for you before, and what is it like for you now that all your bills are paid? You don't have to worry about that. Tell us the before and the after. I know you were a single mom, struggling, 3 jobs.
I grew up in a separated home. My parents got divorced when I was very young, and I watched my mom struggle. I watched her work 12-hour nights. I watched her do side jobs just to support 3 kids in Silicon Valley years ago. I can't even imagine what it would be now if she was doing it again in this time. It'd be definitely difficult. Had a child at a young age, and ended up not doing well in that relationship and working 3 jobs, moved away from my family, literally working 3 jobs, my child in school, my child in aftercare program, my child's grandmother raising her instead of myself. And it was really difficult. And I just didn't want that anymore. It wasn't the life that I wanted, my child to be living in, and my little one now. So we love it because we get to make those decisions. It hasn't been easy. It's been definitely hard work to get to where we are now. But when we set a goal and we set some dreams and we wrote it down and we looked at it every day, we realized what we needed to do to get there, and we just kept pressing forward.
So I know everyone always talks about, your why this, your why that. And I know it's your children, and I know you take care of your mom, so other things. When you talk about setting goals and dreams and things like that, because you're masterful at it, is there a system for it? Is it like, dream boards? Tell us what that looks like for you, because I know you've done a great job with that.
We do dream boards, but right now we have a dream wall. So right now in our home office upstairs, we have a wall that has pictures of everything we want, what we want to do. When it comes to remodeling the kitchen, we've already priced out everything, what we need to do to get there. And when we do it, we mark it off. And one of our dream boards for last year, or actually 2020, was to lose weight. We got on that journey of losing weight. Our dream was to put in a pool. We put in a massive pool because we weren't traveling over the summer. So why not take the money from traveling, put it into our home, put value into our home even more so, put in a saltwater pool, redo the backyard, and start redoing some of the house. And so we just started knocking things off the list and spending more time with our children, reading every day. And that's really setting it down, looking at it every day. And if it's in your face, you're going to see it and you're going to go for it even harder.
And I know you work in a home-based business. And I've been working from home for almost 20 years now, so it's not new to me. But I always see couples that are able to work together and work from home. That's a lot of home time, especially when you've got a toddler running around and you're taking care of your mom and stuff. So my question to you is, how was that transition? Like, I don't work with my spouse. My spouse definitely has his own career. I have my career, and I love it. And I think, golly, I don't know if I could do it. So what are some tips out there if people are working with their spouse or significant other?
In the beginning, Kai, it was very difficult. Very difficult. My husband's military background, and so we butted heads because he was so structured in one way. He has his strengths. I have my strengths. We each have our own weaknesses. And we really had to sit down and say, okay, these are your strengths. These are my strengths. These are your weaknesses. These are my weaknesses. And merge them together and decide, what can I do to help what we do in our business, and what can he do? And taking over the schedule is my strength. It is not his. He will book appointment on top of each other, and it'll be a disaster, and I've got to fix it. So as long as we follow the system and follow that schedule, it's been successful. I absolutely love working with my best friend. I love having his desk right next to me. And I love just sitting and talking about our schedule for the day every morning, go over what our plan is for the day. And, we figure out the gaps during the day. Who's going to sit and play with Bailey during this time? Who's going to have lunch with her? Who's going to have breakfast with her? Who's going to make dinner? And we just make it work. And it's really brought us even closer together in our marriage.
I love that. And I know we don't have all sunshine and roses, right? I mean, being an entrepreneur isn't just like every day, oh, I love it, it's so great. There's certainly ups and downs, but I'm sure, my worst day being an entrepreneur would pale in comparison to my worst day, working for somebody else. It just, I couldn't stand it. So I just have a question for you. Like, some of those, ups and downs, what are maybe a tip that you could tell somebody? So Jim Rohn says we're a warning or we're an example. And I always tease, I say I'm both, right? Like, I'm a great example of some things. I'm always a warning of other things. Where could people look at some danger signs when you're self-employed? Like, what's the biggest challenge you had to overcome to continue to be successful?
Get rid of obstacles.
Like,
don't give up. If you like to play games on your phone, get rid of them. If you binge watch shows, get rid of them. Set that goal. And if there's something that's going to distract you from reaching your goal and going after it, get rid of it. And that was one of the things we learned last week on one of our leadership Zooms, I guess you could say, because we're not in person. But one of our meetings was get rid of obstacles. If there's obstacles in your way, get rid of them. Let them go. Move them aside until you reach your goal. And because they'll continue to build up and continue to stop you from getting to where you want to go. And just have that clear focus of what you truly want and don't ever give up. We're always going to have bad days. The scariest day is the day you get started, because you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And that's always the scariest. But celebrate every win along that way, and you're just going to grow as a person and grow to love being an entrepreneur, being your own boss, and firing your boss.
So the average entrepreneur, does 2 to 3 to 10 ventures before they hit one that they're successful with. And I know you've dabbled in some other, home-based business. Why this time? Why this company? Why this? Do you follow what I'm saying? Like, you've done a few. So what changed for you, or was it the company? What changed? What shifted? Why is this the winner chicken dinner, if you will?
We're a service-based, not a product-based. It's something everybody needs. Everybody's going to have it eventually. It's just who they're going to get it from. I don't have to be skinny and fit to do this, like nutrition. I don't have to have perfect skin like you do in a skincare to do what I do. And it's for everybody. It doesn't matter your age, your background, if you've gone to college, if you graduated high school. It doesn't matter, what your background is, where you come from. There's a place with our company that you can call home for anybody and everybody. And it's just changing the world.
So just find something that you really are passionate about. Like, I'm with you, that I couldn't do a health and nutrition. Not that I'm not healthy, but I'm not like, skinny and I don't wear makeup. So I'm like, that wouldn't work for me. So I hear you on that. I know you're going to get one of these beautiful rings to wear on your finger for, a financial achievement. And I like that, in a home-based business, they give you a lot of rewards, right? Like trips. And I know you've earned 2 trips and you're about ready to earn your 3rd trip. So I love all of those spiffs and things like that. But it's really, in my opinion, who you become in the process. And you and I have talked a lot about, leaders are readers, and you weren't a big reader back in the day. What shifted for you? What are some of your favorite books? How has personal development played a role in you achieving one of these incredible rings? I can't wait to see it.
Because I'm feeding my mind and I guess you could say my soul with positive stuff. I'm not watching the news. I learned a long time ago, CNN stands for constant negative news. I'm not watching that. I'm not listening to that, and I'm just feeding my mind and my body with great stuff. Right now, I'm currently reading Building an Empire. Yeah. And it's really based on, and it's the new one. It's a brand new one that I started reading. And it's doing your home-based business and doing what I do in a virtual world, versus hugging people and seeing people face to face all the time, which I desperately miss. But you know what? I haven't been sick. My hands are pruned from washing my hands so much. But I think personal development is absolutely huge. Find something that you believe in and you can put your all heart into. And I've been able to successfully read all the time, where I struggled growing up. I struggled with that because I wasn't comprehending, because there was so much distraction around me that I couldn't focus. I couldn't remember what I read. So I do a lot of highlighting. Our books have highlighting all in it, have stars next to it, have circles on it. And because I can go back and to those paragraphs that I read and reread it again and make more sense out of it. So it's really important to read. I wish I could get my entire family to read, because a dysfunctional family could be functional again if you just put some personal development into it.
True that. And so what was, like, I know you just started your journey on personal development, a few years ago. What was your first book that you read that you went, wow, I am totally turned on to now reading books? Because the average person doesn't even read a book from cover to cover after high school. And I would argue they probably didn't even read one cover to cover in high school. They got the Cliff Notes or cheated, or, you know what I mean? So like, tell me a little bit about what was that first book that just tipped you over and you're like, I'm hooked.
You know what? I started so many different books along the way, and some of them never finished because a new book came out that got my attention. But I would say cover to cover in one day was 6 Inches to Success, because really, It's 6 inches. It's between your ears. It's all in your head. And that was one of my favorite ones. Another one was, I'm looking over there. Dare to Get Rich. I read that cover to cover. And then obviously we have a couple books with our company. They're the older version of it, but I sat and read those because that helped me grow in the last 6 months, even more so because I knew I wasn't alone and I knew the obstacles and to overcome certain things along the way. And so that really helped me because it was top leaders and top platinums in our company that wrote those books.
That is true. So like if you want to do something, whether it's play basketball, work in a company, you should probably read everything that the company people have put out. I mean, that just makes sense. So good for you. I mean, and success leaves clues. So all these things you've said about goal setting and personal development. I mean, if anybody wants something that somebody else's has and they've already done it, you can simply just do what they did and you're going to get what they got if the track is already there and laid out. Leadership is a huge, huge part. I think there's a lack of leadership, honestly, just in the planet today. And I always say it's so easy to beat the masses because so few people are really trying. People are dabblers, they're toe dippers. They don't really go all in. And when you go all in, it requires really looking in the mirror and having leadership. And first you got to lead yourself. And you've done a great job of leading yourselves and leading by examples and earning trips and, always getting the bonus money, which I appreciate. But then the next step is you've got to learn to lead other people. So how is working with you? So if someone were to come, join the team and work with you, what would be some of the gifts that you could supply them with to be successful? Because I know you've helped other people be successful as well.
Well, we're always going to be here for you. We're never going to turn our back on you. And we treat you like family because you are our family. When you come into our team, our organization, our family, your family, bottom line. And, I talk to more people in our business and our company than I do my own blood family. And so when you're treated like that, it means more to somebody than just, hey, I got a new person on our team and they're going to just figure it out themselves. Here, call somebody else to get your questions answered. And when you take the time to help your team members work with your team members, that's where they're going to start feeling that sense of familyness and sense of belonging, and they're going to call that home. And so we love that with our team because that's how we are. If we have events that are going to be streamed, what do? We open our home to our team to come here. Obviously, they have to not be sick, been exposed to anybody or anything like that, but we open our home for them to come. We feed them as if we're at an event and we bond. So the more we bond, the bigger we grow.
And I know you and I are very close, right?
Absolutely.
So we talk a lot, right? You were going to say something, sorry?
I don't think there's a day that goes by that we don't talk. In fact, I think my husband gets a little jealous because I talk to you more than him.
Well, and that's what happens when you're pouring into somebody else and you're mentoring them to hit top positions and things like that, right? And in that same vein, you did mention, sometimes we are, more akin to the team and working with our families and our companies than our true families, because like you said, we're personally growing, we're developing, we're in a different direction, and sometimes that threatens them. So, I thought, all these years later that had stopped for me, and I shared with you, I had a hater just really recently, last month in the family, and it really shocked me. I was like, wow, where did that come from? So I guess at every level, there's another devil or another hater or another whatever. Because people don't like it. You stepping out makes them realize that they're not living their dreams, or they're maybe not being the best family member they can be either. So how do you handle some of the haters and the naysayers, and or have you had any of that? Or is it just me?
No, we've had it. No, there's no doubt we've had it. And you know what? I just have to keep going. You know what? Either jump on the train with us or sit on the bench, because we know where we're going. And we're headed there. You want to join this ride? You want to join this journey and adventure? Jump on with us. We'll take you with us. But we're not going to drag you. You either want to do it or you don't. And you either support us in it or you don't. But I can't let their opinions or their feelings affect me because it doesn't pay my bills. It doesn't pay where I want to go. And if I want to go somewhere, I've got to let that go. And it's been hard. I've had to let people go in my life because they were naysayers. They were negative Nancy's. And I just had to let it go and move on. Does it hurt? Yeah. But in the end, I'm getting where I want to go.
I agree. And the price is worth it, because, you can be that Rockefeller of your family. You can be that next Oprah. It just takes one person to change the family tree forever. And I know that you have been, leading by example and trying to do that as well. As we go to a close here, because you've been very generous with your time. I know you're going off to Tahoe today and appreciate you coming here. And then you're going off to your all expense paid trip to Mexico with your company in like a week or two, and the holidays and everything else you've got going on. My last question is, how do you juggle it? Because you are a mom, you are a wife, you are an entrepreneur, you are all these things. So, I think time management is a horrible way. You can't manage time. Time is going to go and do whatever it's going to do. But some people are better with that time than other people. And I think sometimes that's the big key to success is what you do in the 24 hours that everyone's given. Everyone has the same amount. It's not managing that time, but what you do with that time. So what would you say to people that are like, I can't do it. I'm a single mom. I'm homeschooling. I've got a job. I've got, all these excuses, because you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both. So how do you handle time, and what does your schedule look like?
Turn those excuses, turn those obstacles and objections into your biggest why. If you're a single mom, that should be your biggest why, to not struggle. I did it. My husband did it. For 3 boys. He lost custody of his kids during a transition, and it was tough. That should be your biggest why. So turn whatever that objection is into your why and let it power you. And yeah, it is time, but prioritize what's most important to you. You can either build somebody else's dream or build your own. Put your time and energy into building your own dream and building your own future and legacy versus somebody else's. Because with somebody else, you're easily replaceable. With yourself, you can only replace yourself with yourself. And so definitely figure out where you want to go. Write it down, have a game plan. Don't wait to the last minute, and just keep pushing every day as if it's the last day, every day as if that's the end. And as long as you do that, you'll be able to push through it and have all the time in the world in the future.
So I really appreciate your time again today, Ms. Doyle, and thank you so much for coming. And I know for you guys, the best is yet to come. 2021 is going to be your year with our company. And everybody now knows your name, which is exciting. Everybody is aware of all of your success. You've made quite a name for yourself, especially in a legacy company that's been around for 48 years. To mark your territory like that has been pretty great. You're a regional director running the greater Sacramento area. So mega congratulations. If people want to find out more about how to work with you, where should they go to? How do they engage with you? Either Facebook or what's your email or whatever you're comfortable giving out?
Yeah, you know what? We're an open book because this is my business 24/7, 365. My cell phone number is 775-219-5631. My husband's is 775-842-1289. And you can reach me on Facebook, Amy Doyle. You can give us an email, the Doyle Group at outlook.com. And we're always here for you to answer questions and help anybody.
Great. And just want to say in closing, is there anything else that I didn't ask you that you were like, oh man, I wish you would have asked me this?
I don't think so.
Well, you were great. So, folks, I just want to thank you for your time today. I want to let you know that this is On the Fly with Kai. We come to you live. It's a little nerve-wracking, I'm not going to lie. We did Thursday today, but I'm going to let you know that this will be every Thursday. I'm committing in 2021. at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And what you can expect is more of this. So more interviews with folks that are everyday income, middle income Americans like you and I that are winning in their own ways. I think Amy said it best when she said, there's a lot of negative news out there. So what I am committed to bringing to you for 30 minutes every Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in 2021. This is the one for December, and we're going to start going live every single Thursday in January. It's just some great pro tips, some folks who either have, business tips for you, folks that have done great things either inside and outside of an entrepreneurship, but we're going to bring you entrepreneurial tips, interviews, people that are A+ in what they do that you just may not have heard of. And we're going to be the positive news, the good news that's going to be coming out of here every day. So with that, Amy, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and end the broadcast now, but thank you for all your congratulations on all your success. Thank you for being a dear friend of mine. And I'm looking forward to many, many more years of our continued business and bestie friendship. So all right, everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you starting in January 2021 on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, everybody. Take care. Take charge. We'll see you over the top. Kai on the fly.